Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous Azata playthrough. Last time we got started on Albrig's next companion quest. We went back to his destroyed hometown, went to the Word Stone, or Communication Stone, I keep forgetting what they call it. And they brought us to this village of, Gundrun, this village of Sarkorian refugees who have seemingly survived since the rest of Sarkoris was wiped out. But they've got a weird plague running through them where these maggots reanimate dead bodies. So we've been asked, we need to talk to the shaman and the chieftain. I think the chieftain's over here. So we will... before we do that though, we're going to level up because that happened last time towards the end. I only just noticed. So yeah, level 12. Nice. Put a point into intelligence. 11 skill point. Oh, I guess this is because we're in Azata. We get and our intelligence has gone up as well. The more intelligence you have, the more skill points you get. So we can really start throwing around the skill points. Yeah, can't we? Put some into treachery. Might as well get athletics and mobility up. I don't think it will really matter that much. Put some points into stealth. Why not? Why not put some points into law religion? Okay, so we have more options now when it comes to... I kind of wish I'd gone for Enduring Blade last time rather than Prescient Attack. But is there anything new that might be better? Having holy damage might be good. We are fighting a lot of demons. Dimension Strike. The Magus can expend 2 points from his arcane pool as a swift action to resolve all of his melee attacks until the end of his turn as melee touch attacks. Oh, I think that's pretty good. Basically, every character has a standard AC and then a touch AC, and it's usually used for magic. So your standard AC is like your armor, your evasiveness, your dexterity, things like that. And then touch AC is the defense sort of against most physical spells. But the reason why that's good is generally most enemies have a much lower touch AC than they do standard AC. So that might be pretty good. So that's... I'm tempted by that. Ghostblade. Although I think I'm going to go for Enduring Blade. Should have done that last time. Then we can get Dimension Strike next time, potentially. Although we'll have access to... Quicken Magic is nice, but... that means we can cast spells instantly. We'll go Enduring Blade. I reckon Dimension Strike is probably better at this point, but we're making up for picking Prescient Attack, which I think was a bit of a waste. And oh, we've got some more level 4 spells. Nice. We don't want to turn into a leopard. Heaven's Wing. Doesn't sound that good. I can see why the guide I was originally following suggested dual classing at level 10, because at this point I'm not that impressed by the spells that we're getting at this point. We'll take... we'll take Dragon's Breath just for the fun of it, I think. We do have a dragon in our team. It feels somewhat thematic. And we'll take Animal Aspect Greater. I know we can have Woljif cast it for us, but we don't really do that, do we? So, Albrig. Oh, an easy level for Albrig. I always like that. Another point into Strength. Standard skill points that we always give him. I did that right? Yeah, Perception. Woolgif. Don't know why I'm doing Woolgif next, but something tells me he'll be a bit easier. Well, then maybe not. We do have a medical discovery. Another point into dexterity. Same skills that we normally give to Woolgif. Let me just see what the guide says. I imagine it will be an extra feat. It usually is. Level 12. Yes. Combat trick, dazzling display is the suggestion. So dazzling display on its own isn't, I don't think, that good. You can perform a bewildering show of prowess as a full round action to demoralize. Yeah, that on its own is not that good, but it's more that it leads to shattered defenses, so that when enemies are frightened, they have a much lower effect. Yeah, sure, we'll go for that. Well, I don't know how often we're actually frightening enemies, so I don't know, who knows. Again, this is kind of the downside of following a guide, is that you can kind of encourage you to stop thinking about what you're doing. I thought we already had animal aspect greater on Woolgif. Or protection from arrows communal. All allies within 30 feet gain resistance to ranged weapons. That's pretty good. It lasts an hour as well, so we can just cast it once and not have to worry about it anymore. Darren's got resist energy, so I'm not worried about that. Sure, I'll go protection from arrows communal. Arushale. Ranged expert. Dexterity, I believe. She gets the same sort of skill spread that Woolgif has. She's nice and easy to level up. Okay, Ember. Oh yeah, so I think level 12. We're dual classing Ember into Lawmaster now. So level 12 is another witch. Okay. Charisma. Law religion. She's our best bet for that, I think. Oh yeah, by a long shot. Knowledge arcana she can have. And yeah, persuasion. Heroism greater. It's basically heroism but better, but it only lasts a minute. It'll be much nicer later on. I think the game must have changed around some of the way that the witch levels up, because the guide I have shows her getting 2 spells, I think. Or if that's just a choice. Yeah, we'll go heroism greater. Well, for some reason the music's cut out. Maybe it didn't like me tabbing out of the thing, of the game. Yeah, go persuasion. Those 2, fine as ever. He's got some of the mass animal buffs, which is nice. Eagle Splendor is charisma, right? Yes. Owl's wisdom mass. True Seeing communal. I think True Seeing is pretty good, actually. Yeah, the subject sees the exact locations of creatures or object under blur or displacements effects. Okay. True Seeing Communal might be what I go for then. Let's see if there's a better suggestion. Let's Dispel Magic Greater, but I feel like we've got some weapon attacks that can manage that fine. Yeah. Unless there's if he had mass Cat's Grace, I'd go for that, but Bull's Strength I'm not as fussed by. We don't have Strength isn't too useful in our party, and neither's Wisdom. So we'll go True Seeing Communal. I think that's fine. I think now as well with Ember we can start... Oh yeah, I'll show you how the meta magic works. So there's various things you can apply to your magic to make them stronger. What the heighten one does is it increases the level of the spell, which means it fills up a higher spell slot, but then it also has a higher sort of damage roll. Oh, not damage roll. It has a higher DC, which is difficulty class, which means basically it's more likely to be effective. And seeing as we're not, we'll probably have more use out of it if we raise it to level 6. So yeah, you see, level 6, we've now got a slightly better Command Greater, which we can use with her.
This war must end.
We can do that with Phantasmal Killer as well, but that's not really the core of what we do with Ember. Just check everyone's spells, because I know what I'm like, I'll forget about them otherwise. Yeah, just have another Sense Vitals in there. That's the same as ever. Has Nest got more spell slots? She does. Do another Arcane Theft. Do another Force Punch here. I mean, Displacement is good, but we're just going full aggression, I think, with how that works. How we're using these. Frigid Touch again. Woolgif. Yeah, have one protection from arrows communal in there. Oh, we just have the standard animal aspect with Woolgif, that's why. Do another False Life, if I ever remember to actually apply that. Okay, level up done. Oh, actually, got Fenris to level up as well, but that's easy. Great. Right, let's get on with the quest. Yasenna offers you a friendly nod. You chose an auspicious... what was my voice for? You chose an auspicious hour to appear on our doorstep. Wolfsholm welcomes its guests. I think that's way off what I was doing yesterday. Ulbrich Olesk, servant of the Heavenly Griffin, is knocking at your door. May I cross the threshold of Wolfsholm? You're a welcome guest in this house. Come in, it's an honour to have you. I've gone way off, I can't even remember what I was doing with her. Ulbrich looks at the shaman in surprise as though he expected a different response. Laughing, he wags his finger at her. Surely you don't let a visitor from another tribe in so easily. If I wasn't who I claimed to be, but some ugly no fair, you should have tested me, asked me some questions to catch me out. But anyway, you've bidden me to come in, so I'll come. But you should thank the gods that this time at least I am who I say I am. I didn't know. The shaman lowers her head like a little girl apologising to her teacher. I keep the old ways, but so much has been lost. Thank you for pointing out my error. Okay, I think I'm finding it again. Why did you call me? How could I not? She cocks her head to one side and gives you a friendly and open smile. You are all that fills Serena's visions these days. The visions come to me one after another, and in each one I see you and the one who walks beside you." "That must be me, then. And Serena is that she-wolf that appeared before us in the ruins of Current Glen." Ulbrich pensively strokes one of the braids of his beard. "A good omen. But what do we do to deserve it? I've never been to your town before. And, sorry, but I've never heard of Serena either." "But she knows of you. Isn't that enough?" "What could I do for Gundrun?" "Do you wish to help us? I knew your arrival was a good omen. I had doubts at first, for Serena's visions are not always clear. I wondered if you would be a great boon or a great misfortune. And even though only time will reveal the truth, I will have faith that our future is bright. Gundrun's troubles are many, you know. We are few in number. It is difficult for us to defend our home and gather food. But for as long as Serena watches over us and we remember and honour her, all will be well. The great wolf will show us the right path. How could it be any other way? And yet there is one thing that has long since given me cause to worry. Serena's shrine in the sacred grove. Once, long ago, yes, just like in the tales." A genuine smile brightens her face and makes it look very young. Long ago, the grove was a place of safety, and people were free to enter the shrine. Can you imagine? Shamans of ages past could see Serena with their own eyes, speak with her just like we're speaking right now, not through obscure images in visions. Oh, how I wish I could return Gundrun to those days. Ysena sighs, but her sadness is brief. She shakes her mane of thick hair and smiles at you. "Who can say? Perhaps you've come here to change everything." Show the strange charm. This stone looks old. Could it be from Sarkorian? I can't. I wish there was. You know how it highlights text if you if it's like old bits of lore or things. I wish it did that when it says "show these strange charms" to kind of remind you what it is you're talking about. "Oh, may I hold it for a moment? I've never seen one before, but I've heard a lot about them." The shaman takes the stone in her hands with great care. "It's so ancient, and yet it still holds power. They use charms like these to honour the forest spirits. Spirits are like little godlings. They're so weak, but they're still useful. The sacred grove still has a few altars standing. You can try your luck. Perhaps your charm will awaken one of them." I'll maybe check the inventory afterwards. Those monsters at the gate, you find them troubling, do you not? "It is true. Demons at our very gates. Serena sends me visions of a dark, coiling evil, creeping its way to the town. But I can never discern its source. We must search the surrounding lands and learn where the hunger that moves comes from." "Evil, you say? You know, on our way here, we came across more than just your Serena. We also ran into some oglin with wings like a fly. I remember it saying something about its master. Could that be what your goddess is warning you about?" "It could well be. If only I could hear her voice more clearly. If only I knew the sacred rituals better. Then I wouldn't have to guess." "Don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing a fine job. Dealing with gods is always tricky business. Bamboozled at every step you are. I haven't heard a peep from my god in a long time. Why? What did I do to anger him? Your guess is as good as mine." "Where should I start looking?" Her face becomes pensive, as if she is trying to summon images from her memory. Darkness. Thick rustling darkness. The smell of dirt, moisture and stone dust. And splashing water. Waves crashing one by one against the shore. That is what Serena is telling me, and Serena is never wrong. Look for a place that resembles this vision, and may the great wolf's blessing be with you. I want to ask you about something. Ask and I will endeavour to answer. Tell me about Serena. Remember how I said you already knew her? I spoke no word of a lie. The white wolf that brought you here, that was Serena, the great wolf of Sarkorian. Serena the swift-pawed, Serena the sharp-eyed. She gazes somewhere over your shoulder, a slight smile playing on her lips. Her fur is whiter than the coldest glacier. She breathes in time and breathes out eternity. Those were the words my grandmother first used to describe her. Ysena laughs before taking a more serious tone. Serena is the last goddess of Sarkorian. Her keen gaze brushes over Ulbrich. Not the last, Ulbrich corrects her harshly. Aravar, the heavenly griffin, still lives. Maybe other gods have survived as well, but I doubt there are many of them. You're right on that score. Tell me about yourself. Ysina straightens her shoulders and back. What can I tell you? I am a shaman, the spiritual leader of our town, a gentle and wise mother who listens to anyone who comes to her with their woes. I keep the traditions of old Sarkoris, listen to Serena's will, and pass it on to the people. But if you ask Sigthorn about me, you'll hear that I'm a petulant little girl with a head full of old tales. Her soft laughter fills the air. It may be so. I will show that stubborn fool how real old tales can be. How did you come to be the shaman here? I'm delighted you asked. It is my favourite story. Every Sarkorian tribe must have a shaman who welcomes the newborn, bids farewell to the departed, gathers the people for celebrations and communes with the gods. Such is the way of things. But Gundrun hadn't had a shaman for a whole generation. The people thought the goddess had abandoned us, but they themselves had long forgotten how to worship her. The sacred grove had filled with wicked things, and it had been many years since anyone had entered the shrine. I was a little tot, must have been no older than 5, when my grandma let me out of her sight and I ended up in the sacred grove. Everyone knew that place meant certain death, and yet I reached the very doors of the shrine and came back, and not a hair on my head had been harmed. The look in her amber eyes is triumphant. Serena kept me safe on my journey. I remember her white fluffy tail. I kept seeing glimpses of it ahead of me, and I remember the smell of apples in fall. You know, those big red ones, the ones that only turn sweet after the first frost hits. After that, Serena began sending me visions, and eventually I took up the vacant post as shaman here in Gundrun. Ysena sighs. I remember it like it was yesterday. The warm, rough surface of the shrine's door under my fingers. I wish I could touch it just one more time. Are you descended from the shamans of this place? Aye. Honestly, I don't know. She looks perplexed for the first time since you met her. I think I am. Would the goddess have spoken to anyone else? I am sure the blood of Sarkorian shamans flows in me. How did you learn about Sarkorian traditions? One can learn much by paying attention to the words of elders and reading the right books. When I was little, I learned all the Sarkorian tales by heart. About the Griffin brother, the Bear people, the Black Mage. It was all so enthralling. And when I grew up, grandmother gave me the books she had inherited from her grandmother. So that's how it is. Books and grandmother's tales. That's all that's left of our people. Ulbrich laughs bitterly. And not even 100 years have passed. What's your opinion of Sigthorn? It's obvious we don't get along well, isn't it? She looks away. Whenever I see him coming along the road, I already know the two of us are going to fight like cat and dog. I just can't stand it. Every part of me rebels against his disregard for our traditions. Mages, Numerian technology. He drags anything and anyone into his so-called den without a second thought. All that matters is that it works. Ancestral experience be damned. What he doesn't understand is that the body must be one with the soul. You cannot give up your heart to save your body and remain yourself. Why, just look at the hunger that moves. It looks all right. The shell is alive, but peer inside and you will see a terrifying void. That's harsh. Comparing a corpse stuffed with flies to your own chieftain? Ulbrich chuckles. But sorcerers and Numerian metalsmiths, they're no laughing matter, you're right about that. Thank you for your answers. I hope my words will help you. I have to go. May the Great Wolf bless your every steps in these lands. Okay, we talked to her.
Always watch your back.
We talked our way across one of the bridges over here. I thought at first that there'd been a mistake because the guy was saying, oh, you're in the infected side, but I guess he just means the side where there's trouble. Yeah, because this side still is fine. And it's where the chieftain lives, so it can't be too bad. There's another axeman there. Now this looks like a shop to me. I Arisen Cree. A lean, tall man behind the counter turns towards you. The suit he's wearing doesn't immediately catch the eye, but it is expensive. His thin lips stretch into a friendly smile. Welcome! I'm Arisen Cree. Thanks for coming to my humble shop. Gundrun's guests are my guests. Where are you and your companions from? Oh, everyone's got a portrait in this. They splashed out for the DLC. I'm a crusader from Dresden. The merchant's eyes light up even more. A crusader from Dresden! Imagine that. Very interesting. I usually see Numerian travellers here, and the occasional Ustalav. You really are a special visitor. But anyway, forgive my curiosity. I imagine you have questions. Or would you like to see my merchandise? Who are you? The merchant twists an expensive ring on his finger, looking lost in thought for a moment. I used to be asked that a lot back when I just came here. Your question almost transported me back to those days. What used to be my answer? I'm a Oh, so he's not Sarkorian. Maybe I'll do a different accent. I'm a foreigner. You needn't be afraid of me. I'm an Ustalav, but do weigh all the pros and cons of running a pitchfork through me. An Ustalav. Not gonna lie, that sounds vaguely. I could try and. The merchant's laughter is soft but very sincere. Those were the. No, I'm not gonna do that. Those were the days, full of fuss and new faces. A pleasant memory. A lot has changed since then. I've settled down here, started my own business, put on a few pounds. Happy to make your acquaintance. My name is Arisen Cree. I'm a rare breed around these parts. A merchant, and an outstanding one too, I must add. By the way, what would you say if this merchant had some business to discuss with you? Tell me what kind of business first. Fair enough. Information first, decisions later. You're a shrewd one. I could see that right away. And that's the reason I'm making this this accent's all over. And that's the reason I'm making this proposal. I suppose you've heard about the trouble at the Wolf's Goddess's temple by now. In case you haven't, here it is in a nutshell. For a long time now, the temple has been besieged by demons. The goddess's powers prevent them from getting in, and they have no intention of leaving either. I've managed to find out that the demons are likely coveting a certain knick-knack that's inside the temple. Well, knick-knack is one way of putting it. You might prefer ancient relic. It's really just an old piece of wood with a rich history. But as long as it stays in the temple, those monsters won't leave the town in peace. If you happen to get inside sometime, take a look around. Ideally, I would like to acquire this item, but I would also welcome any information. It is actually in the temple. Is it actually in the temple? What does it look like? Where is it being kept? Get the idea? I am prepared to pay handsomely for anything you can tell me about it. I'll look around the temple when I get the chance. You've made me the happiest among merchants. Glad to shake your hand and seal the deal. And remember, the reward will be very generous. I'm saying this in case you're not especially concerned about what will become of Gundrun. Are you willing to sell out this place? I'm not entirely sure I trust you. What's it like living in Gundrun as a Ustalav? I could say that maybe if he did have a different accent, he's lived here long enough that he sounds a bit like the locals too. The merchant smiles, a reserved, knowing smile. If the locals' looks could kill, but they can't, so it's eminently tolerable. Yes, I'm a little unpopular. This is true. You see, being an Ustalav here is an indelible stigma. No matter how many years I've been, and will continue to be, an honest shopkeeper, they'll always say, he's a nice chap, sensible and honest, but still an Ustalav, so don't put your pitchfork away just yet. Do you understand? I'm flicking all over the place. What's the deal with Ustalav and this place? It's the troubles of bygone times. When old Sarkorian fell, a handful of survivors sought refuge in Ustalav, but the Ustalavs were afraid of the demonic scourge. Ustalav closed its borders to refugees, and the blockade has continued to this day. Yes, it's an antagonism that goes back decades. Sadness clouds the merchant's gaze. That blockade is a deplorable misunderstanding stemming from a lack of research into the nature of demons at the time. I was profoundly outraged to learn that the borders were still closed. While, of course, it was beyond my power to change that, I did all I could. I came here and opened my shop so that my merchandise might in some way relieve these people's hardships. Tell me about Gundrun. A wonderful place, if a bit of an acquired taste. Quiet, old-fashioned, but you can feel its potential. Gundrun can be more than this. It's a shame not everyone who's in charge of it of its future sees that. What do you think of Yasena? Oh, a wonderful woman of firm principles, a true Sarkorian. Although between you and me, the total of her knowledge of the ancestral ways comes from what her grandmother told her of what her own grandmother told her of what... You get the idea. She goes out of her way to revive old customs, but from where I'm standing, it sadly seems to do nothing to help Gundrun move with the times. Wouldn't you say forward is the only direction worth moving in? Time only moves forward. Be like time. That's what I always say. He who ploughs on ahead with no knowledge of the road will stumble into a bog, or fall into a ditch and break both his legs. The girl might not know our traditions very well, true enough, but at least she follows them. Ah, that ancient foundation of all organised religion. Observance without understanding. Darren brings his hands together in a mock praying gesture. Let us pray to the holy I don't know what, and don't forget the donations. What do you think of Sigvorn? A most worthy man, courageous, honest, and a true leader. Another pleasant trait of his is his openness to new things, much as he strives to remain true to his Sarkorian roots, or his ideas of them. It's just that he lacks any flexibility in political matters. Do you see what I mean? And Gundrun is badly in need of allies. He's too ready to bend whichever way the breeze is blowing. Who ever heard of sorcerers in a chieftain's band? Ulbrich scoffs angrily. You know, it's not a good idea to trust everyone who's trying to make friends with you. Who wants Oglins for allies? Allow me to assure you I have no dealings with... What did you call them? Oglins? On the contrary, we're talking about honourable, respectable people whose favour will only benefit Gundrun. I reckon you're no better than an Oglin yourself. I look at your slimy smirk and I can see right away that you're up to no good. Yeah, Ulbricht's picking up the same sort of vibe that I am about this guy. I'm not going to show him the charm, because he might just try to buy it. What do you think of the Wolf Goddess? A most interesting entity. In terms of power, she doesn't exactly rank with the likes of Iomade, of course, but she is powerful enough. It's sad to see people's faith in Sarkorian gods wane by the day. A pity, but time passes and some things pass with it. What was before will never be again, nor will old Sarkoris ever rise from its ashes. Okay, show me your wares. Of course! I have excellent articles, and at good prices too. Oh, I guess that class would be good for this section, wouldn't it? Padded armor of greater negative energy resistance. Okay. Scorching bracelets. These gold bracelets grant their wearer the ability to cast Scorching Ray 3 times a day as a 12 level caster. That's not bad. A bit expensive though. You know, we'll offload some of the junk that we've got. Might as well. Take that. And just take the standard light shield, the breastplate. It's not much, but it's something. I don't really need all this sort of thing now, do I? Okay, it doesn't sell. Oh yeah, I was wondering, will it sell the mirror? No, yeah, okay. It keeps some things like that. Midnight Hunter's Ring. This ring grants its wearer a +2 enchantment bonus to dexterity. Their attacks against lycanthropes. Huh. It's not bad. Okay. Oh, let's see if I can figure out what this amulet they're talking about is. Let's do newest to oldest. So maybe we got it relatively recently. Broken Shaman's Medallion. No, it's not that. No, it's not all this stuff. It's not Faultless Daybreak, I don't think. I have no idea what they're talking about when they're talking about the strange amulet. Is it? No, that's stuff we've got from the world map. Strange charm. Oh, it's probably this one then. A peculiar looking stone with runes inscribed onto it. You acquired this item while exploring Current Glen. Okay, so we would have got it last time we were here. A troubled merchant. Hello. Are you heroes who help fight off the hunger that moves at the gates? So you know how to handle those abominations. You can help me out too. The merchant sizes you up with his eyes and clicks his tongue in a friendly manner, clearly liking what he sees. I am Blemmin, an upstanding citizen and merchant in this town. Ask anyone. Everyone knows me here. I make a living bringing back certain goods from Numeria. Of late, however, I haven't been able to bring anything back. The hunger that moves is stalking the mountain pass, and now my caravan can't get through. If you can help me, you can be sure I'll see to it that you're well rewarded. Okay, tell me what the problem is and I'll decide if I'm going to help you. There's not a lot to tell, really. Caravans bound for Numeria use the mountain pass. There is no other route. And it's there, at the narrowest stretch, that the hunger that moves has made its new home. My caravan has been attacked twice. I haven't seen it myself, obviously, but many of my people escape with their lives they all say that they were attacked by the hunger that moves. Now everyone's flatly refusing to go out without a heavy escort. But where am I supposed to find people to do the job? Sigvorn has no manpower to spare on account of that quarantine. So, will you do it? Yeah, I'll help protect the caravan. That's great. That's just great. My lads are sitting near the fisherfolk's house by the wall. Tell them I sent you, and they'll explain the rest. Why would the hunger that moves attack a caravan? That's a good question. Do I look like I'm an expert in these abominations? On the face of it, there's no reason the hunger that moves should attack wagons. But for all I know, perhaps there's no other prey in the mountain pass, so it attacks whatever living flesh it sniffs out. What are you doing, Gundrun? I bring back goods from Numeria. I'm a humble trader, but here in Gundrun, people like me are worth their weight in gold. We have to get some of our most basic items from Numeria, or we'd be truly miserable. What with Ustalav imposing a blockade on us 100 years ago. That's where I come in. I bring back hardware tools, fabrics, spices, you name it. Let's trade. The merchant runs his gaze over you and chuckles. Why, a lady of such distinction would be much better served by Arisian Cray. My merchandise is what it is. Simple articles for peasants like myself. Arisian Cray. I have to go. May Serena bless you with good fortune. Okay. So we've got a few quests going on. A barkeep? Hi there, welcome. Greetings, I'm the owner of this small but cosy tavern. You don't look like you're like a local. Okay, so that's a spot where we can rest. Nice. So this feels like a full hub area then. We've been given a few quests to do around here. They said that yeah, caravanners are sitting by the fire, they said. Where's this quarantine then? They did say that our whole section was quarantined. Well, I like the setup of this. This is a nice town. Huh? What was that? Sound like someone just got whacked. Yeah. Okay, someone's doing something up here. I guess people are training. Bodyguards, axemen, bodyguards. Okay, okay. To the chieftain's house. Yeah, got spellcasters. Bjordolf. I think Bjordolf was by the gate when we arrived.
This is my kind of work.
Okay.
Careful now.
Hello, Sigvorn. How did you even get across to this side? I'll be having a few choice words with the guards at the crossing. Come on in, since you're here. Do you need any help with the quarantine? No, I'll handle it just fine. I've already sent off for a healer. Bjord, my advisor, took care of it. The healer is delayed in coming, of course. Sigvorn clicks his tongue in frustration. You'd think he'd hurry his nag a little after the fortune I paid him. Well, no point in fuming over it. He'll be here any day now. Why won't you let Yasena help? If you've talked to her, you probably understand the reason yourself. He shakes his head. She's a heedless one. She believes Serena will protect her from everything, and she'll walk through fire armed with that faith. And the disease is dangerous. 3 of our people have died already, and that's why I've put all the sick in one house and put a guard on the door. It's the safest thing to do until the healer gets here. There's something else. The reason why Yisse is so troubled by the whole thing. The disease reared its head after the feast day. And do you know which feast it was? The one in honour of our wolf. Yesene is in charge of the preparations every year. So she torments herself. She feels guilty. And it takes a clear head to deal with any serious job. You have an advisor? His name is Bjordolf. I brought him all the way from Numeria. He was in my party. He wasn't much use in combat, but he has applied himself here. What do you know about the disease? Bah! Barely anything. It all began right after the feast in honour of our Serena. They hadn't even taken the garlands off the gate that evening when the first one fell sick. Maybe they brought in that disease along with some foreign goods. Maybe it's something else. But people are hurting and dying. Talk to Bjord, he can tell you more. Your people might not last until help arrives. Sigvorn's hand curl into fists and his brow furrows. I'm aware, he yells, but then quickly cools his temper. What do you suggest I do then? I can't get a healer from Ustalav. The border is closed. Not that I want anything to do with those ghouls. Alright, it can't hurt. Go have a look if you like. I'll tell my people to let you go where you please. But Yasena is not allowed to go anywhere near the sick. If you figure out a way to weed out the disease, come and we'll talk. I want to ask you about something. Sure, ask away. What are your thoughts on Gundrun? What a thing to ask. I'm the chief here, you know. My thoughts. They are the same thoughts any good father has of his child. For all their faults, they're still my child. Sigvorn's laughter is resounding and pleasant. After he is done laughing, he rubs his chin. I think I regret it. I regret every day I ever spent away from this place. This is my home, my tribe, and my tribe needs me. I won't let its spirit stiffen and wither, bound by old traditions. Mages, technology, even horned devils for crying out loud. We will absorb it all and turn it to our benefit. One way or another, Gundrun will live. I'm listening to you, and I don't know what to make of it. On the one hand, Chief, I'll put it plainly. You're talking nonsense. When has ensorcelry ever helped us? But then again, Ulbrich scratches at his beard. Then again, you've got the Sarkorian spirit. You're talking balderdash, but you're talking like a chieftain. What are we supposed to do, friend? Old Sarkoris died 100 years ago. The whole world's been turned upside down. What used to be reasonable is madness now, and what sounded like madness now makes sense. Times have changed. Sigvorn gives Ulbrich a friendly thump on the shoulder, but our spirit's the same as ever, no matter what century we're in. At the moment, Sigvard and Ulbrich sound exactly the same. Tell me about yourself. I'm the chieftain. Sigvard shrugs his mighty shoulders, his face radiating calm dignity that gives you an indication of how much the word means to him. Do you see this sword? He nods over his shoulder at the worn leather-bound hilt. I got it from my father, and he got it from his father, as he got it from his. and the one who originally forged it and let it drink the blood of his enemies was a Sarkorian chieftain many moons before the fall of this land. And what was his name? Tell me, chieftain, what is your clan name? And what is the name of this fine sword of yours? Want to test me, do you? Very well, I'll present myself as is proper. I am Sigvorn Daughtry, son of Oswald Daughtry, grandson of Walder Daughtry. Our clan was founded by Trovan Daughtry, the great smith, who trapped the dragon flame in his forge. And as for my sword, Sigvin frowns, its name was lost along with our homeland. My grandfather died defending his home when my father was just a babe. The sword survived, but my grandfather took its name to his grave. May I take a look? Ulbrich examines the scabbard and hilt of the sword with reverence, cautiously touching the tongues of flame etched on the guard. I knew your great-great-grandfather, Wilbur Daughtry, and this blade. I've seen it in battle. Its name is Dawncutter, and I see that you have not dishonoured it, or your ancestors. Dawncutter. Sigvin presses his lips to the sword's handle and bows his head before Ulbrich. Thank you. Never have I been given so precious a gift. What are these metal things on the walls? Oh, these? Everyone here gawks at them, but I got used to seeing them back in Numeria. He nods at the peculiar decorations on the walls of his dwelling. I guess, oh yeah, all these pipes and stuff. Oh, it looks like a Aureli's lab. That machine can predict the coming of rain. That one tells time. And this one is just a trophy, a memento of the glorious past of a Numerian mercenary. Yes, I'm telling you this openly. My band and I were not ashamed of it. You're not ashamed, fair enough. But you got nothing to be proud of either. You're wrong. A victory's a victory, even if it's in a foreign land in a foreign war. Without those victories, without the trophies and experience we brought back from Numeria, do you think Gundrun would still be standing today? What's your opinion of Yasena? Yesa does good work. She's a fine lass. I've no quarrel with her as the tribe's shaman. These old traditions of hers, on the other hand, how are we supposed to get anywhere if we're always looking over our shoulder? Yesa has to understand. Everything changes in this world and we must change along with it. What matters is what you hold in your heart. And that's where I hold Sarkoris. Yes, this is Numerian armour, but underneath it, I am still the same descendant of a Sarkorian chieftain. I swear in Serena's name. There are some things you shouldn't do for the sake of surviving. There are some things that shouldn't be changed. Listen to the shaman, chief. It's a centuries-old tradition for every tribe to have its own shaman, and there's good reason for it. Maybe you're right, but... Sigvin smirks. It's also a centuries-old tradition that the chieftain and the shaman have to be... Is it also a centuries-old tradition that the chieftain and the shaman have to be at each other's throats? Ulbrich lets out a booming laugh. It is, that's the truth. Thank you for your answers. You're welcome. I have to go. Right you are. No time to be sitting idle. We all have business to take care of. Sort of changed his voice midway through, but that's fine. Bjorndolf. Bjorndolf, advisor to the chieftain. At your services, Outlanders. I'm strongly advising you against looking into this matter. Why would famed warriors like you concern yourself with a quarantine? But I wouldn't go against the chief's orders. Ask me whatever you want to know. I can't do a Scandinavian. I'm not even going to try to do a Scandinavian accent. How long have people been ill? A couple of days. Since the evening of our feast day in honour of Serena the Protector. What are the symptoms of the disease? The symptoms are horrible indeed. Stomach cramps, weakness and fever. The affliction brings down strapping men as well as children and the old. Take my advice. Do not venture close to the sick or the bodies. Serena protects those who protect themselves. Tell me about yourself. About myself? Oh, I'm not worthy of your notice. I'm just a man who does his duty. Oh, there's something for the Aeon path there. Okay, I must go. I won't keep you. Yeah, so we've got people from Numeria here. We've got old Sarkorians and one Ustalav. So it seems like a bit of a eclectic spread in this refugee village. Okay. So we've been out, we can go into the house where the sick people are. I guess that's the infirmary down here. We've got the caravan business. Let's go into the infirmary first, I think. I want to see what... Oh? What? Where'd you get a whole crate? Don't worry. It's from Gramps' pantry. Great man he was, my Gramps. Oh, crazy wild moonshine, I'm telling you. Don't be such a chicken. Look, I'll drink first. Okay, they're getting smashed. Oh. Is he... Ah, black magic, sorcerer's tricks, so then save me. What happened to me? Somebody help. Hey, my buddy. Why do you run away like that? He just looked at me and went, oh, ah. Why can't I see my hands? Where'd they go? Where'd my hands go? Am I dead? I'm sort of see-through. My mother told me drinking would be the death of me. And she was right. Help me, sister. You hear sobs and lamentations coming out of thin air. Who are you? So you can hear me. Thanks, Serena, the protector. I'm Donick. I'm local. I'm a friend. You're invisible. So not a ghost. He lets out a drunken sob. Have I been cursed? Did Grabs do this to me for stealing his liquor? So you drank your grandfather's liquor? Well, yeah, why not? He's old, he doesn't need it. That crate just stood there gathering dust for goodness knows how many years. It sounds like your grandfather is an alchemist. No, he is? Come to think of it, the liquor bottles were a little small. Grabs, why would you do this to me? Stay here while I think of something. I'm just staying. Just don't forget about me. I'm invisible, you know. I'd forget about me quicker than I could down a Jill. He sobs. Do we have any dispel magic scrolls? Okay. Well, that's dispel magic on a point. We'll try it out with Darren, see if it works. Oh, it's on a point though, not a person. The invisible drunk. Yesenia is versed in magic. Okay, we'll just go talk to her about it then. Poor guy. So yeah, come around here then. Poor Pooch. Did he really die because of me? Sad old man. They say the brightest stars burn the quickest. Then how come you died, Rubus, you dim-witted mutt? The portly man sighs, looking at the dead dog. What are you grieving over? I feel sorry for the poor pup. He was such a sweetie, even if he was a bit dumb. In all the time he's lived here, he's only bitten 3 people, and every one of them deserved it. That fop from Ustalav, Mr. Cray, and a couple of outsiders. Was this your dog? Oh, no, he was just a stray. I just feed them. I don't mind doing it, and it makes them happy. It wasn't my treats that killed him, was it? Where did you get the food you gave to the dogs? Just from some pilgrim that was going from house to house the other day. Holy people are always welcome around here, especially when they're offering such good meat. Pilgrims are usually poor folk. They go door to door begging for a crust of bread. But you're telling me these ones were handing out meat left and right? That's awful strange. I must go. Oh, Rubus, you silly dog. The man continues, mourning the dog's death. The dog is dead. The vomit next to its muzzle indicates poison. Oh. Okay, who's poisoning dogs? I can talk to you. I pray to Serena every day to make me rich, but my pockets stay as empty as ever. Maybe I need to pray louder and make sure the goddess hears me? Or maybe I should do it at night by the light of the moon. I don't know, do whatever you want, man. Yasena, some guy just turned invisible. A curious thing happened to one of the townsmen. He drank a potion. He drank a potion and turned invisible. Serena preserve us. Where did he find a whole crate? No matter. We must help the poor sap, and quickly. He simply can't go around mixing potions so carelessly. Bring me the vials left from whatever they drank. And here is a short list of things I need. You can obtain one from Cray, the merchant from Ustalav, and the other from Sigvorn. Once you have everything, I'll help. Okay. May the Great Wolf bless you every step in these lands. This feels like an errand. But fair enough. Where's this pilgrim as well? Smart boy. Okay, we'll come talk to the smart boy later. Show Yasena's list. I need some items on this list. Some poor soul has turned himself invisible accidentally, but Yasena promised to cure him. The merchant studies Yasena's list intently. Nothing rare. I'm not even going to charge you. I wonder why that chap wants to be visible again, considering the many clear advantages. You know what? Tell him to come over. Why trouble Yasena about some potion? Tell the unfortunate that he is actually quite fortunate indeed, and that Arisin Cray has an excellent business proposal for him. No. Of course, come back any time, and you'll find me here. Me and my merchandise. God, I feel a bit tired today. It's not helping with the keeping the accent straight. Go on into the chieftain's house. Sigvorn, hey mate. Greetings, hero of hazy prophecy. Have you had a look around? How'd you like our Gundrun? It's rather nice here. Come on now. You don't have to praise our land out of politeness like it's someone's child. Sigvin peers into your face. Or are you truly enjoying your stay here? Good then. Not many who visit us can truly appreciate this place. Yasena asked for something from this list. Sigvin looks at the note with a frown. If Yasa wants to help that dimwit, I won't object. Except that I'm sick to the back teeth of him. His antics may be minor, but this molehill's already grown into a mountain. Tell him to come to me for the cure. I'll lock him up, let him sit and think for a while. Trust me, a day or two spent pondering his life choices will do wonders for him. I have to go. So I guess we've got options on how we can help the guy. We can send him to the merchant who wants to use his invisibility. I can't think of many good business opportunities where being invisible helps that aren't underhanded. I think we'll just send him to Yasena. She looks like she'll actually help. Okay, so lawful. Oh, it is technically a chaotic. I guess the good option is the good option is to send him to Yasena. We're not going to send him to Cray. Are you going to start drinking again once you're visible? Me? Drink? Not a drop. Never again. Just please help. The potion you drank was spoiled from being stored too long. Really? You know, it did have these exquisite mouldy notes to it. Okay. Got it. Point taken. I'll leave you to it. Right. Back to your sinner. I guess this is just helping us make friends. Like, depending on who we side with. Whether we go with the shaman, the chieftain, or the merchant. Wolfshorn welcomes you. Your fate is tied to Gundrun. Or should I say, its fate is tied to you. I have everything you asked for. Wonderful. And in such a short time, too. Yasena leaves for a little while, then returns with a small bottle in hand. Tell him to drink this, and all will be as it should. May the great Serena bless him. Cool. And may the Great Wolf, bless you every steps in these lands. Right. Now we're going to go to the infirmary and also keep an eye out for this pilgrim. Smart boy. Whoa, would you look at you in your fancy clothes. It's obvious you're no local. The boy, who looks about 10 years old, shoots you a sly smile. He seems like a sharp one. That's right, I come from far away. Oh, you're from Numeria? He waves his hand nonchalantly, but then frowns. Or is it Ustalav? If you're from Ustalav, you better beat it. We don't like people from there. Do you live here? Yeah, in that big house over there. I know everything about this whole town. Can you tell me about the feast day you recently celebrated? It was even better than usual. I helped make garlands out of flowers for the gate. Yasena summoned the spirit of the Great Wolf, and that evening there was a man handing out food, and he didn't even want any money for it. Okay. Do you know the person who was handing out food at the celebration? Nah, I don't know him. But I did see him. He was like you, from somewhere else. He said he was a pilgrim. He went from house to house giving out meat totally free of charge. A pilgrim, you say? Ulbrich tugs his beard as he thinks. Gundrun's a tiny place. It's got no big or famous shrines. So why would there be pilgrims here? Then he left town and headed straight for the hill. I followed him. Figured maybe he'd start giving out sweets or fruit next, but no. He's got a camp there and some guard golems. I kept an eye out for a bit longer, then I came back. Okay, I have to go. Who's stopping you? Okay, so this pilgrim's not in town anymore. Sounds a bit suspicious. Is either one responsible for what's it called? The hunger that walks. I feel so rotten. I don't even know if I'm alive or dead anymore. Have you been sick long? It's been 2 days. If I can still tell day from night with this damn pain in my gut. Can you describe your symptoms? I'm as weak as a 3-day-old pup. I'm sweating buckets, and it's like I have a devil in my gut, screaming and kicking its hooves. When did you fall ill? Right after the celebration. The one in honour of Serena. It was so beautiful. And as soon as it ended, this started. The last thing I remember is a pilgrim knocking on my door and offering me some baked cabbage and meat. It tasted so good. Oh, my poor gut. Did the other sick townsfolk take the food too? What kind of question is that? Of course, everyone did. The food was delicious, perfectly fresh, and the smell was enough to make your mouth water. I have to go. Okay, so everyone ate the food, but not everyone is... not everyone's afflicted. Oh, everyone leave the room, please. You're making it hard to click on people. This guy doesn't look good. I don't want to die. I'm only 43. I've got my whole life ahead of me. Oh, a cat. The cat is in the same room as the sick people, but it looks healthy. Clearly the illness poses no risk to animals. Or at least cats, because that dog was dead. So I wouldn't rule out it hurting some animals at least. Okay. I guess finding this pilgrim is the main deal. Oh, there he is over here. Well, I'm assuming the kid said he had golems guarding him, so, or golems. Right. A little bit of running around back and forth in this, I'll admit. The bodies are fresh, and these are the first victims of the mysterious disease. They are ready to be sent to the local cemetery. And I think it's or to the pyre. Okay. So there's people living out here too. I guess I misunderstood when they were talking about the quarantine. I thought he'd quarantined a whole section of the village. Tiefin. Who are you? Tefan. What are you gawping at? Keep your eyes to yourself and move along. Alright, buddy, sorry. Why are you so defensive, eh? So the... Okay, the caravanners are here. So you've been hired to protect us, is that right? Good, good. We'll set off now. Lads, ready the cart. Oh, you're good, and you look mighty intimidating. I can tell you're a dangerous one. As soon as you're ready, let me know and we'll be on our way. Okay. Escort the wagon. Yeah, I think we'll do this now. Oh, it's like a full journey, actually. Maybe we'll go talk to the pilgrim first. Oh. Oh, hello, Serena. Seems to want us to come over here.
Still alive, you mangy mutt. Toss her aside. Our master will deal with her later.
I wish those texts lasted longer. Okay.
And bite off the heads of these irritating mortals.
Smile. The world's not ending just yet.
Well, we will definitely buff up, seeing as we know they're there.
I always have the upper hand.
Oh, I haven't even used Dexterity Mutagen on Woolgif yet. There you go. That's fine for now, though. Go on.
Time to rob them of their treasures.
We'll at least go and fight these guys. Where did the Enduring Spells thing go? Enduring Blade, even. Oh, it just halves the time it takes. But if we activate this now, then oh, whoops. Yeah, 12 minutes. There you go. That's nice. Okay, Woolgif, you can move up. Give yourself shield.
Out of my sight.
Yeah, just everyone start attacking. Not too worried about these. Okay, Ember. You move up. Yeah, do is this quickening every use of Scorching Ray we do? We've already finished the rod though. I thought it only had 3 uses. Not complaining though. It feels like it's not working as it should, but to my benefit, so I'm not going to complain. Oh wait, turn that off. Okay, do a Vampiric Touch attack. Yeah, just attack. Easy. Wait, why did Fenris get hurt? The Forest of the Forgotten Spirits. Okay. Just want to check what the journal entries are saying. Oh, I guess this is where the wagon wants to go. So maybe we'll go there with the wagon? Unless the wagon takes us to a different place. Let's go talk to the... We'll try and talk to this pilgrim. Answering your questions isn't one of my duties. Try asking my boss if you want to know. Oh, the pilgrim's dead. Okay. Is that maybe that's an accident on his part then? Oh. Instant enemy.
Prepare yourself.
Cover me, all right?
Okay, one golem down. Nest, do Instrument of Freedom on the dead pilgrim. Oh, Darren, sorry, forgot to put you on the dog. Just do a prayer. Ember. Do that, and then do Command Greater, please. Although it might not work on the golem, because it's a mind-affecting effect. Yeah, I didn't think it would.
Desna, guide my hand.
Okay. Yeah, so everyone that's got that infection turns into one of the, or turns into a swarm of these maggoty things whenever they're killed, which is a tad concerning. Come on, Darren. Oh, okay. That's annoying. They do ability damage. Oh no, it's not because of the quicker meta magic rod, is it? I think I've got a perk which means the first spell she casts is a swift action. Okay. That's the deal then. Okay, Bloodstained note. Your talents in the art of poison are phenomenal. My patrons will appreciate your work greatly. You may consider these guard golems a gift. After all, we would not want any misfortune to befall one of our guests. Crow in shadow. Okay. After studying the nature of the epidemic, the commander has good news and bad news for the chieftain. The good news is that there never was an epidemic, and the quarantine can be lifted. The bad news is that this town has an active saboteur who has been poisoning people to create the false impression of a mass contagion. Who could it be? Okay. Let's go and talk to the chieftain first, I think, before we...
What's that glitter?
Oh, hello. Shadow Clover? What's that about? Oh, okay, this just leads around to over here as well. Okay. We'll go talk to the chief first, and then we'll do the caravan. I imagine that whoever this person is will be in the woods, or in the, yeah, where the wolf was taking us. There's a lot more to do here than I thought there would be. Sigvorn. Hello again. I want to talk about the reasons for the quarantine. Sigvorn nods. Did you manage to find out something about this sickness? That's good. Let's discuss it with my advisor. Sigvorn wears a smile, but your arrival has clearly put his advisor on edge. Let's skip the pleasantries and get down to business. I hear you've gone and stirred up all of Gundrun over this, so tell me, did you work out anything about this affliction of ours? My investigation has borne fruit. Sigvorn slaps his knee. You go at a problem like a wolf at a slab of meat. You won't drop it for love nor money. I will listen to what you have to say. I'm certain that this is no disease. Sigvorn frowns. Not a disease? What makes you say that? Only the healer from Numeria is capable of determining that. Don't listen to them, my chief. We should wait for the healer. We've waited long enough already. Now we're going to listen to whatever our guest has to say. The chieftain gestures for you to continue. You're acting awfully suspicious, Bjorndolf. Not long before the sickness broke out, a suspicious person was seen in the town claiming to be a pilgrim. He was giving out food for free. What could be the cause of such generosity? Strange. Why would any pilgrims come here? We worship Serena, of course, but who outside our town would know about her temple and come all this way? As for handing out food, what a load of nonsense. Have you heard anything about this, Bjord? I saw a fellow, but what does that matter? I don't see why he's relevant, Chief. He was just an ordinary pilgrim. His food could have been spoiled or poisoned, and a pilgrim is a perfect cover story for a spy. You saw him and didn't check? I'm disappointed in you, Bjord. I talked to the afflicted townsfolk. They ate the pilgrim's food and fell ill soon after. They ate it and then got sick, is that right? Well, 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 that's interesting. What's interesting about it? It's a completely ordinary coincidence. Who even remembers what they ate on any given day? I'm changing his accent every sentence, aren't I? I found a dead dog. Its owner said the animal died after eating the meat the pilgrim had handed out. A dog ate the pilgrim's food and died? Now there's something to consider. What's the pilgrim got to do with it? The sickness is highly contagious. That's all. Even animals aren't immune. We saw a cat that was immune. I found the person who was giving out food. He's dead, but there was a contract to supply poison in his pocket. So our pilgrim's journey didn't last very long. And he certainly didn't have spiritual matters on his mind. This whole thing is fishy. We need to take a look at those documents. We can't take Outlanders at their word, Chief. A conspiracy in our Gundrun? Ridiculous. Who'd waste their time on this town? I would, for one, Bjord. Sigvin frowns, looking at his advisor, who seems to shrink under his gaze. Look at this. It's a contract to supply poison that I found on the dead pilgrim. An interesting note. Sigvin takes the contract from you and turns it this way and that, peering at it. I don't recognise the hand, but the date rings a bell. That's the day I gave you the money and told you to send a messenger to Numeria for the healer. The world is full of coincidences, my chief. Bjord's expression is calm, but a drop of sweat trickles down his temple. Bjorndolf, you're very sus. All the evidence indicates that someone deliberately poisoned the townsfolk. Sigvon's face darkens. I think there is truth to your words. You can't write this off as a coincidence, Bjord. Didn't you tell me recently that you needed to send off for some poison to deal with pests in the granary? Did I? Perhaps I did, but I've so much to do that I can't keep track of it all. You saddled me with managing everything in the town. No matter what it is, I'm the one who has to do it. I'm the one who has to find the time. And has anyone ever thanked me for it? No. You take all the credit. What's got you so angry, Bjord? I've always valued the work you do. Valued me? Pah! You dragged me to this cursed place. You said it would be for a year, and 10 years later you're still festering here. Don't like the sound of that, Sigvorn? Wake up. On its own, this place is a worthless hole in the ground. It seems your advisor betrayed you, Sigvorn. Nonsense! Bjord may not be acting like himself, but he's no traitor. Tell them, Bjord. I'm so sick of you, you noble idiot, Sigvorn. Sigvorn, this place is dying, and I don't want to die along with it. There are forces at work that we cannot overcome. It would be better to submit to join their side. And there you have it. The difference between a clan and a band of mercenaries. Ulbrich shakes his head in vexation. You can trust people. You can have dealings with them for decades, but that doesn't make them kin. Our family, blood ties, eternal values, and so on and so forth. The unshakable pillar of Sarkorian society. And we saw a fine example of it in Current Glen. No, Bjord. Tell me it's not true. You couldn't have betrayed your town like this. My town? Bjork barks out a brittle laugh. I left my town to follow you, and you dragged me here, to this dying puddle of devil's spit. Yes, I betrayed you, but you betrayed me first.
Let's have some fun.
I don't think he's the mastermind behind this then, is he? He's just, he's leaning into it, but he's not the one in charge. Yeah, I think this is going to be over quickly for you. Yeah, finish it off, Arushale, please. Oh, wow. Okay. All the Numerian spellcasters have turned. This isn't looking great for you, Sigvorn. You've surrounded yourself with people who are ready to just eager to turn on you. All the people from Numeria are anyway. Do a halt.
Am I doing it wrong?
At least your bodyguards haven't turned on you. That's something at least.
I will see to your demise.
You know what? Just finish him. Oh, I got an achievement. Sell out. You exposed a traitor. I never would have imagined that's what Björndorf thought of me. Well, I'll be. I wonder how much they paid him to betray me. Sigmund shakes his head in bewilderment. It doesn't matter. Thank you for helping me expose that scoundrel. If only I knew the name of whoever hired him. It seems it will remain a mystery for now. Will you lift the quarantine now? Of course I will. It's not much use to us anymore, is it, that quarantine? That advisor of mine, the Viper. How much longer would he have fooled me if you hadn't stepped in? Yeah. You've been had a bit, haven't you? Suspicious notes. Carry on. Your talents have been noted, and my patrons have promised you a respectable future. Crow in Shadows. And healer contract. Oh, so we never even sent the contract for the healer. This contract for a Numerian healer has been written and signed, but has since been crumpled. More importantly, it should have been somewhere other than in the advisor's pocket. Yep. Okay. Well, now we've done that, let's go and do the caravan. I've been recording for quite a while. I was imagining I could do all this in one go, but we've still got stuff to do for Cray and this whole caravan thing.
Careful now.
So maybe we'll do that next time then. So honestly, yeah, I'm feeling a bit just bleh today. So my accents are all over the place. Okay, we'll finish this up next time then. I guess our journey here is longer than we planned, but that's okay. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you want to keep following this series, subscribe. I'll be posting daily. And yeah, just leave a like or a comment if you're feeling generous. But thank you for watching. See ya.